Listen to this terrifying bit of predictions by him. SOT 5.
An agenda that will freeze the rents for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. Make buses fast and free. And deliver universal child care across our city.
Good luck.
We will hire thousands more teachers. We will cut waste from a bloated bureaucracy. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
Whoa. What?
Wow, yeah.
What? Andrew, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, it's socialism, is what he's describing. There's no doubt about that. There's a couple issues. One is that a lot of the stuff he can't do. I mean, he can't raise taxes. That's something that the governor's got to do, and she's already said she's not going to do it. As far as the free buses go, there's a transport board, and there's bonds involved. It's kind of complicated, like all things in government.
And by the way, how's he going to make buses faster? Like, well, where does he get that power?
I know the answer to this. Do you want to know what the theory is? The theory is that by people not having to put money in, that will make it faster and easier for the buses to run. That you eliminate that
I'm
step.
happy to hear you say that, Andy. I thought they were going to run over pedestrians. This is better. Your plan.
They already do that. Have you ever stood on a corner in New York when the bus is going by? There's not even half an inch between the bus, its wheels, and you. You have a kid. Trust me, I have 3 kids all of whom spent their 0 to 10 years in New York. They've got to get way the hell, but you can't be a foot back from the edge of the curb. You've got to be 3 feet back. It's terrifying. Go ahead.
Just say nothing in the bike lanes. That's my fear when I'm in New York City. But
devastating.
So anyway, so he's not going to be able to do a lot of this stuff. A lot of the stuff isn't going to work. I mean, if anyone has ever gone to a co-op, when I was a kid in college, we had a college co-op for food, and it was terrible. It was a disaster. And you went down the street to Johnny's Food Master. That was the place in Somerville. That was the big, grocery store. And it was a thing of beauty. It was lit up at night. And that's one of the reasons I became a capitalist, was because I had that experience where I saw what happens at the co-op, the way the vegetables looked and the way the vegetables looked at Johnny's Food Master. 100%. I don't know if Johnny's Food Master is still there. But anyway, the thing is, with socialism, what you do is you blame someone else. So they will blame Donald Trump, who's already sort of led into this narrative a little bit by saying, I'm not going to send them money. So there'll be 100 reasons why socialism doesn't work in New York. And none of them will have to do with socialism itself. Socialism works. It's just we've never tried it. You have to remember that. That's the sort of basic promise of socialism.
That's the reason why it was all young people.
Mm-hmm.
Young Nimrods who actually think, gee, this is a new idea. We should try it. No one's ever tried this before. How could socialism work? Maybe that's the answer to all of our problems. We'll be the very first. And by the way, we have absolutely no terrorism risk because there's been no meaningful terror attack that I can remember in my lifetime. I mean, this is like who's controlling these elections. Canadian Debbie really wants me to play the following soundbite for you, so I will. Independent journalist Nick Shirley again here, SOT 9B.
Who are you voting for mayor?
I like Cuomo, but I think Mamdani might be pulling the lead a little bit with me.
What's your favorite example of socialism that's worked?
I don't have a big example of socialism.
Like between Venezuela, Cuba, Soviet Union, what's your favorite one?
Man, you put me on the spot. I'm going to have to go Cuba.
Do you think Mamdani's the future of the Democratic Party?
I hope so.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Megyn, that's the quote of the year. I'm going to have to go with Cuba.
Megyn, you played that clip earlier about the student that was had the $10 matcha in her hand, and she's like, I just saw a clip online of some young women who voted for Mamdani that were talking about Sharia laws coming, and they were celebrating that. I mean, it was and they weren't even Muslims. I don't even think they knew what that meant. I mean, it's astonishing.
I hope you enjoy your genitals. Yeah. Enjoy them while they're still intact.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, did you see Alex Soros posted a picture of him with his arm around Mamdani and saying, so proud to be a New Yorker. And isn't he supposed to be fighting the oligarchy and the billionaires? Aren't they the enemy? Isn't that what?
How's that going?
Yeah, how's that going? Well, I guess obviously we've learned only some billionaires are evil and other billionaires are great. But it just goes to the point. This guy he went to private school. He's from an elite family. He is totally sort of role playing here and disconnected from the hardships that New Yorkers are facing on an everyday basis.
Well, he's the vanguard.
Yes. Like I said, he lost the working class. The working class voted for Cuomo. It was all of the elite, high earners, reasonably high, and the college-educated crew. We know what college does to you, that voted for Mamdani. Go ahead, Andrew.
I'm just saying, this is textbook from the socialist playbook. I mean, here's the thing. The problem with the working class and why they don't embrace socialism is because they're not bright enough to do it. That's fundamental to the sort of socialist view of things. And so what you need are people like Mamdani, who are the vanguard of the proletariat. These are the people like Lenin who were educated enough to understand the theories behind Marx, which are completely impossible to understand because they make no sense. But they understand that enough, and they will lead the revolution. And the revolution will be led not by the workers, but by the vanguard of the workers, and that's what Mamdani is here to do. Like I say, this is all, this is sort of just the way socialism worked again and again and again. And people somehow forget about it, and it's one of the wonders of the modern world, how socialism could have failed everywhere. And it still has this sort of hold on people's imagination.
It hasn't been tried properly, Andy. Come on.
I know.
We have Mamdani on the record saying he doesn't think there should be billionaires.
Right.
And that he does view the ultimate goal as, quote, seizing the means of production.
Yeah.
What could be more Marxist? He actually wants to seize the means of production. Okay, first of all, that's not going to happen, right? That's his utopia, but it's not going to happen in the United States of America. I do want to get back to there's no problem too big or too small for government to get involved. What a contrast from the Gipper, the great communicator, Ronald Reagan. We teed it up.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, that seems a lot closer to what's real, but we have to keep learning these lessons over and over and over again. I do want to play you something, though. I don't want to it's very easy to bash Mamdani, very, but we should pay some attention to like what exactly caused people to vote for him beyond like his promises of free things. Like there is something happening to young people in particular, but under 44 in New York, which isn't that young, that made them flock to this guy, that made an extra 1 million people get off the couch and go vote for him. I mean, that's incredible for a mayoral race. And I want to play a soundbite. This is Charlie Kirk on Tucker Carlson's show right after Mamdani won the Democrat nomination. Listen here.
It's a coming attraction of what is coming next.
Who's Mamdani?
Zohran Mamdani, the Muslim communist that is running for mayor in New York City, who obviously there's a whole rabbit hole we can go down there. He just looks kind of be like central casting and, his ideas are terrible. He wants the city to run the grocery stores, all that. But I think everyone's not everyone, but most people are missing the point of really what this is. This is yet another distress signal by young people to say, hey, if you're not going to fix our life economically, we're going to get very radical politically. Now, let's take a step back. President Trump won the youth vote in many states across the country, in many battleground states. One of the reasons he was able to win younger voters and younger men, especially in big numbers, is that they were trying to get their leaders' attention. They said, hey, this guy, Donald Trump, he is pledging to go fix our economic anxiety. He is loud. He is going to get your attention. Donald Trump was a distress signal by a lot of young people, especially young men, that were stuck in a credit-centric renter economy.
I miss him so much, but Tom, he's raising really good points there
Very
about
good point.
they're not all crazy leftists. Like some are actually just suffering. not just in New York, but in other big cities, and want to try something completely different because they just feel the system has utterly failed them.
I think that's exactly right. And that's the genius of Mamdani's campaign is, he has all these programs, which are pie in the sky. Obviously, we know we're not, but the central theme around which it was built was affordability. And that is a powerful word that everybody can understand. It doesn't take a lot to digest that. Everybody understands, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, black, white, doesn't matter. Can I afford this? Can I not afford this? And that's why it hit home, particularly, I think, with younger folks, and why Democrats, that's what Spanberger was talking about in Virginia. Cheryl was talking about that in New Jersey. And Republicans should be talking about affordability as well, because it is a huge concern for everybody in an economy where inflation has taken a huge bite out of people's paychecks and their purchasing power, from everything from healthcare to education to what they get at the grocery store. And that's why he's been so successful. And, Donald Trump was able to tap into that on sort of the populist right. And, Mamdani is sort of version of, I would say, Bernie Sanders sort of 2.0. He's done a good job of tapping into that on the left. And as Charlie Kirk rightly pointed out, that's not something to just be dismissed or waved away. And that's what I go back to my point earlier. I think Republicans need to be clear-eyed about what happened on Tuesday and figure out how to reconnect with those voters and solve those problems. Otherwise, they could be headed for a not so great midterms.
You've got a situation where Trump's main tool to get the inflation that he inherited, to be fair to Trump, down is his tariff policy. And he said from the beginning, it's going to take me a while, so I'm going to need you to be a little patient. Well, they're not. That's not really a virtue among the American electorate, and certainly not among moderates in the middle who aren't diehard MAGA. They're not. They want their grocery bills to go down ASAP, and they'll sign on to the person who's making the promise most believably and most boldly. And in this case, that was the Democrats. Did you know gold is up around 40% this year? That's not speculation, it's reality. And if a portion of your savings is not diversified into gold, you're missing the boat. Here are the facts. The US dollar, still too weak. The government debt, still growing. This is why central banks are flocking to gold. They're the ones driving prices up to record highs. But it's not too late to buy gold from Birch Gold Group and get in the door right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. You don't pay a dime out of pocket. Just text MK to 989898 and claim your free info kit. There's no obligation, just useful information. The best indicator of the future is the past, and gold has historically been a safe haven. So text MK to 989898 right now to claim your free info kit on gold. MK to the number 989898. Protect your future today with Birch Gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.